I'll start by saying you were the drummer in Silverchair.
Well, are the drummer.
Are the drummer. Okay, you're on a indefinite hiatus at the moment.
Yep.
So, well, now you've got your own project, which is Bento, which you started as a solo project, but you have developed a band for your live shows.
Yeah, although it's my creative outlet and my baby, I really want to establish, a solid band that, continue along the lifespan of the project. And I see Bento as a parallel to Silverchair, so it'll continue for, until I'm an old and grey and can't walk anymore. But yeah, so I want it to feel more like a band rather than a solo project. And it's good. There are a couple of solid guys that have been playing from the beginning of the conception of the project up till now. So, but I think as time goes on, the Bento will become a lot more focused, like the sound and the band. But I think for the first kind of offering out of the gates, that Diamond Days is a good representation of where I am at present.
And the album is available right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on iTunes. It's been distributed through JB, and yeah, you can definitely get it on the website if you want to, which is www.wearebento.com.
You've spent enough time in America to get that right, haven't you?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I was going to say, actually, because you're not that old, you're in your early 30s, but you've been in the industry for 20 years. Do you sometimes feel a lot older than you are?
Yeah, definitely. It's weird. I remember when we were much younger, it's all about perception, but we'd look at guys ourselves and be like, God, they're getting a bit, long in the tooth. And I actually didn't know what that meant at the time. But, actually getting to that kind of early 30s, you realise that a lot of people are just getting that momentum and that really good break in the music industry, and that we've just been really lucky to be able to have had success at such an early age. And, yeah, it's I don't know, it is weird to get to that point and then kind of battle those demons inside thinking that you're an old rock dog, but in actual fact that you're in the perception of the industry, you're actually still quite young.
Yeah, it must be strange having all that experience because there's not many people around that have, started so young.
Yeah, I think that, even if you look all around the world, there's a handful of bands. A lot of them take off even in their late teens or early 20s, but, we were mid-teens. We really kicked off when we were 14, and that's just, for me to think about that now is just mind-boggling, that you're still a kid, really, just kind of, you've probably just gone through puberty and you just think, and, you're thrust into this world of fame and all these things, and it's just hard to imagine, but somehow I got through it.
Well, you got married not too long ago, didn't you?
Yes.
How would you feel if one of your children had the same opportunity at such a young age?
Well, I don't have my own kids yet, but yeah, it's one of those things where if I imagine if your children were passionate about something and had an opportunity, it'd be a pretty hard call to make, whether to allow them to do it or not. But, and it's that catch 22. You don't want to turn around in 10 years and go, oh, you should have stepped back and, you should have made me not do it, and because, it's had this effect on me now, but also, well, you should have let me do it because it would have given me these great opportunities. So it's a bit of a hard one. But, from my experience, if you've got the right support and you've got the right people around you, then just go for it. But, if you had, like, people that are around you that were basically blowing smoke up your ass, then it's probably not a good thing, because then you set up for the rest of your life just to be basically full of yourself and have a distorted image of reality.
Well, I think when you do have children and if the opportunity arises, you'd probably be one of the best people to guide them anyway.
Yeah, oh geez, if that's what my kids want to do, I'm sure they'll be fine. I won't let, I definitely won't let any kind of fame or any ego go to their brain. It'll be about the right reasons, but doing good music and enjoying what you do and doing something because you love it, not because of money or fame.
Yeah. with the new album, you're actually in Melbourne at the moment for just promotional purposes, aren't you?
Yeah, it just came down to had a hellish flight from Newcastle, and I think I was up at like 5 to 4 this morning, and yeah, flew down. It's all good, and just been running around with my publicist this morning and doing interviews, and now I've got a few phoners, and yeah, it's one of the parts of the job.
Well, have Bento done a live show yet?
We have, yeah. They've been quite. There's only been a few because literally just for the album launch and a promotional gig for an online streaming site called Deezer that comes out of France. But in terms of a few shows in a row, like we haven't done that just yet. But we will. That's what we're planning on it. We're just taking one step at a time. It's although I have come from Silverchair, I think you can't assume that fans automatically jump ship to the Bento ship. So, you still have to convince people and prove to them that you're the real deal. So it's a slow process. You still have to go back and do the hard yards and work hard to, any success that you have.
Well, how did it feel stepping out from behind the drums to be the front man?
Oh, I was scared as hell. It was really scary. I guess it's something that I'd always thought about, like it'd be nice just to have a change and have a go at it. But, the Silverchair has been, is so mammoth and such a big thing and so awesome that, you put all your heart and soul into it. And because Dan and Chris and I love it so much. And so, so you come off the back of a record and a tour and everything that goes with it in Silverchair land, and, you're pretty drained. Like, you don't have energy really to do anything. Like, we'll literally come off tour and, I'll just sit for 3 or 4 weeks and not move and just try and recharge my batteries. But with Silverchair going into the indefinite hiatus, it definitely has given me the energy and the time to be able to satisfy my creative urges, because I haven't written on a Silverchair record since the first few records. So, yeah, it's scary but really exciting at the same time. And then, I've always find if you confront fears, that's when you get your gift at the end of it. Like, if I don't want to spend my life going around going like, oh, I coulda, woulda, or I shoulda. I actually want to go out there and do it. And, and so you're not always going to succeed. Yeah, you might fail sometimes, but you'll never know unless you give it a crack. And as an artist, it's more about just having that creative outlet. And Bento's my baby, and that's my creative outlet, and that's what's so exciting.
I suppose in a way it might be a little bit even more pressure for you because you've got so much to live up to in a way that people maybe expect more out of you.
Well, yeah, I mean, even in Silverchair, I think all three of us, even though Dan's, I took a step back from the songwriting duties, and Dan really kind of, is the driving force behind the songwriting. But, Chris and I, and even our management and record company, it's a real team effort, and so you do still have to put a lot of energy into it. So that's still my baby. Like Dan and I started Silverchair back when we were, realistically, when we were 12 years old. So it's just a huge part of my life. But yeah, it's just that thing as an artist. Like, you need that creative outlet, because it's like a boiling kettle. Like, unless you kind of let the pressure out, at some point it'll just explode. So for me, Bento is my pressure release.
Well, speaking of your creative outlet, you do have a video for Diamond Days up on YouTube, which we are Bento on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And that was your idea, that video?
No, it was, what I did was I had a couple of directors in mind, and they all kind of fell through. And then I was a bit lost with what to do, and I just went to a producer friend of mine that actually lives in Newcastle that had spent a lot of time in LA and New York and really working her way up the ranks. But she decided to come back to Newcastle, and spoke to her, and she just, really took the reins and found a director and got a really good narrative story, and then we just went from there. But, it was the same, the whole thing about the Bento project is, although I'm the captain of the ship, a lot of other people, creative people, have become involved, and anyone creative, you need to give them room to breathe, and it becomes more of a collaborative thing. And it's the same with the video. You know, Holly came in and she really took the reins, but we talked about it. We had meetings, and like everyone would listen to each other, and so, you know, the end product is very much, you know, a collaborative piece. But I mean, the main for that video, the main concept was done by a writer in Newcastle his name's Jamie Lewis, and yeah, he's done a bunch of different like documentary stuff, and I don't think he's really done a video clip as such. But just because, like I said, just because of the team that was behind it, everyone was really excited and managed to pull this amazing clip together.
Can I ask you what your favourite song on the album is?
It's like asking me what my, who your favourite kid is if you've got children. But for me, I can't say I have a particular favourite because they've all got a different place in my heart. So that it's a classic saying, it's you got to compare apples to apples. They're all a bit different for me, but Miss My Mind is one that I've had kind of in my repertoire for quite a while, and to see that song kind of finally realised and done with full production and with writing the lyrics to it and just having closure on it, you know, it's one of those songs that have just been with me for so long, but I always knew that it'd be really cool, and so it's just nice to, you know, have a full stop and just go, yeah, I'll pull that one off, because it's Miss My Mind is it's a bit disjointed. Like it's kind of like three songs in one, but it's really cohesive at the same time. But yeah, so if I really had to pick, I might pick Miss My Mind, but I'm not committing to that either.
Well, Diamond Days is the current single. Do you know which the next single will be?
Yeah, we're releasing another single on March 1st, and it will be Words of Love, which
you wrote for your wife, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the song began in the studio with me. Well, that's not proper grammar, is it? With the producer and I, just jamming on a couple of ideas, and we just worked the song up from there. Like I wrote pretty much all the songs on the record, but it was one of the ones I co-wrote with the producer Eric, and you know we were both really excited about it, and it was just the music, and then I started mucking around with the melody and. Yeah, and then just that first line literally came out, like, take these words of love. Yeah, and then, it wasn't even a conscious decision. It just happened that I just kind of wrote it about my wife because, you know, she's that person that I never want to let go of.
Oh, that's good. You have been absolutely fantastic to talk to. I wish you all the luck in the world with this release and getting some live shows up so we can come and see you.
Awesome. I'm sure it'll happen soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later. Bye.